Welcome to Hot Drama TV.
On a night when thousands of lights flooded the stage in Macau, no one imagined that the most talked-about moment of Wang Hedi's concert would not come from the music, the choreography, or even the cheers of the crowd. It would come from a single glance. A moment captured unintentionally, magnified by the internet, and transformed into a story far bigger than the truth itself. January 17th was meant to be a celebration. Wang Hedi stepped onto the stage with confidence, surrounded by deafening applause and an audience that had waited months for this moment. The atmosphere was electric, and when Zhao Lusi appeared as a special guest, the energy reached another level. Her presence instantly lit up the venue. Cameras flashed, fans screamed, and social media platforms were flooded with clips of the two stars sharing the stage. Every smile, every movement, every second of interaction was replayed and analyzed. But while millions of eyes were focused on the spotlight, the internet quietly shifted its attention elsewhere. Somewhere in the audience, a young woman was caught on camera. She wasn't cheering wildly. She wasn't filming nonstop like most fans. She was simply watching. Calm, focused, silent. And in the digital age, that was all it took. Photos began circulating online, zoomed in and reposted without context. Who was she? Why did she look so composed? Why did she seem to be watching Zhao Lusi so closely? Then came the assumption that changed everything. She must be Wang Hedi's girlfriend. From that single sentence, an entire narrative was born. Netizens began to speculate that she had come to the concert not as a fan, but as someone guarding her territory, afraid that Zhao Lusi, radiant and adored, might steal attention from the man she loved. The rumor spread at a breathtaking speed. It climbed Weibo's hot search rankings, fueled by curiosity, imagination, and emotional reactions. Some people mocked her, others sympathized with her, and many treated the story as if it were a real-life drama unfolding before their eyes. The idea of a secret girlfriend lurking in the crowd was simply too tempting to ignore. Yet beneath the noise, the truth was far less dramatic. As media outlets began to investigate, the story slowly unraveled. The woman in the photos was not Wang Hedi's girlfriend. She was either an ordinary audience member attending the concert with her own partner, or a staff member connected to the event. There was no romantic relationship, no jealousy, no hidden conflict. Just a normal person who happened to be in the wrong frame at the wrong time, unknowingly projected into a story she never agreed to be part of. By the time the clarification surfaced, the rumor had already done its work. It revealed something far more telling than any celebrity relationship ever could. In today's world, fame is no longer confined to those on stage. Anyone can become a character in a viral story without consent. A single photo can be turned into a headline. A single assumption can outweigh verified facts. And once a rumor gains momentum, truth often arrives too late to stop it. The concert ended that night. The stage lights dimmed. The crowd went home. But the story continued to echo online, not because it was real, but because people wanted to believe it. Perhaps the most ironic part of all is this. The woman at the center of the storm did nothing at all. She didn't speak. She didn't act. She didn't claim anything. She simply existed in a space where millions were watching. And maybe that is the real lesson behind this viral moment. Sometimes the most dramatic stories are not the ones happening in reality, but the ones created collectively by our curiosity, our imagination, and our hunger for spectacle. While the truth stands quietly in the background, the internet chooses the version that feels more exciting. In the end, she was not a jealous girlfriend, not a rival, not a shadow behind a celebrity. She was just a girl in the crowd, and a reminder of how easily ordinary people can be pulled into extraordinary rumors in the age of social media. And yet, even after the truth surfaced, something lingered in the air. Because stories like this never really end when the facts appear. They fade slowly, unevenly, leaving behind impressions rather than conclusions. For some viewers, the rumor was already etched into memory, mixed with emotion and imagination. For others, it became just another fleeting headline, replaced by the next trending topic within hours. But for the woman in the crowd, and for anyone paying close attention, the incident revealed a quiet but unsettling reality of the digital age. In the world of celebrity culture, the line between public and private has almost disappeared. The stage is no longer the only place where stars perform. Social media has turned every seat in the audience into a potential spotlight, every phone into a lens that can rewrite someone's identity in seconds. You don't need to speak to be heard. You don't need a role to be cast. Sometimes simply being seen is enough. What made this moment so powerful was not the rumor itself, but how easily it was accepted. No confirmación. No evidence. Just a narrative that felt dramatic, emotional, and familiar. A story about jealousy is always easier to believe than a story about coincidence. Conflict is more entertaining than normalcy. And so the internet chose the version that felt like a drama, not the one that felt like real life. For Wang Hedi and Zhao Lusi, the night was supposed to be about music, performance, and connection with fans. Instead, it became another reminder of how closely every move is watched, how quickly professional collaboration can be misread as personal tension. For celebrities, this is almost routine. But for those who stand beside the spotlight, it can be overwhelming and unfair. Perhaps the most sobering thought is this: if a single woman in a crowd can be turned into a viral character overnight, then anyone can. Fame is no longer required. Context is optional. All that matters is timing, framing, and the collective curiosity of millions of strangers. And so, when we look back at that concert in Macau, maybe we should remember it not as a scandal but as a mirror. A reflection of how we consume stories, how quickly we judge, and how rarely we pause to ask whether what we are sharing is true or simply convenient. The girl in the crowd will likely never know how many people talked about her, argued over her, or assigned emotions to her face. She will return to her life, invisible again to the internet. But her brief moment at the center of attention leaves behind a question that lingers longer than any rumor. In a world where everyone is watching, how many stories are we creating that were never meant to exist? And perhaps the next time we see a photo, a clip, or a fleeting expression frozen on our screens, we might hesitate, just for a second, before turning a stranger into a story. What made the rumor even more disturbing was not its content, but the speed and confidence with which it was accepted. No one paused to verify the information. No one questioned the source. A few blurry images and a handful of speculative comments were enough to construct an entire storyline, complete with motives, emotions, and imagined tension. Suddenly, a stranger was no longer just a face in the crowd. She was labeled, judged, and assigned a role in a narrative she never chose to enter. As the rumor grew, it began to overshadow the very event that brought everyone together. The concert itself, the music, the performances, the shared excitement between artist and fans, slowly faded into the background. Instead, attention shifted toward gossip, suspicion, and online debates. Some users argued fiercely, others mocked the situation, while many treated it as entertainment. Few considered the consequences. In the digital age, the internet does not wait for answers. It rewards speed, emotion, and controversy. The more dramatic a story sounds, the more likely it is to spread. And when celebrities are involved, imagination often fills the gaps left by missing facts. Professional collaboration becomes romantic speculation. Coincidence becomes intention. Silence becomes proof. What is often forgotten is that not everyone under the camera's gaze is protected by fame. Celebrities may be used to rumors, trained to endure them, surrounded by teams who manage damage control. Ordinary people have none of that. They have no platform to clarify, no voice loud enough to correct the narrative. Once the internet decides who you are, reclaiming your identity becomes almost impossible. And perhaps that is the most unsettling truth behind this story. It was never really about Wang Hedi or Zhao Lusi. They were merely the spark. The real focus was how easily the public created a character out of thin air, how quickly curiosity turned into certainty. In a world where attention is currency, stories no longer need to be true. They only need to be compelling. As the rumor slowly faded, replaced by new headlines and new scandals, one question remained quietly unanswered. How many similar stories have we consumed without realizing it? How many ordinary lives have been briefly exposed, labeled, and discarded by the endless scroll? The internet forgets quickly, but the impact of being misunderstood, even for a moment, can linger far longer than any viral trend.